All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chakwadash. Giving double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Peace and salutations to the Akim, the brethren out there on the highways and byways pushing this truth with 100% sincerity. And peace and salutations to the few and sincere sisters who believe in this gospel. So I want to entitle this lesson, We Can Do More Than What We Think. And I got a quick video clip here, and that kind of inspired me to go into this video lesson, really about endurance in this truth, and endurance through tribulations, trials, things of that nature. So let's go ahead and get into this clip.
I'm not doing 10.
Bro,
hey,
go! Listen. Here's the thing. This ain't what the fuck you want to do. It's what the fuck we want to do.
It's
right?
what I can.
Yo, shut the fuck up, bro. Please. And I'm not saying respect. I'm telling you, shut the fuck up.
You gotta go, bro. You gotta give us a
Stop
fight,
talking. Stop making excuses and do it.
We ain't see you quit yet.
Let's
It
go.
got heavy for you yet.
Let's
You
go.
did every rep that you tried to do.
Let's go, bro.
Quit that bullshit.
Ain't no difference between
Quit
me
that
and you,
fucking
bro.
bullshit.
Go. Get mad. Get mad.
Get mad. That's
Get
what
mad
you
and figure it out.
Get mad. Head up and fucking drop. I ain't seen you fail yet.
I'll
I
take
ain't
you.
seen you fail yet. No, fuck you, Uncle. You got another one.
Come on. Go.
Another one.
You ain't no generous.
Go.
Let's go.
Pick the fucking weight up. Fuck is you waiting for?
Come on.
Yeah! Fail yet! Yeah, stay in there. Stay in there.
Yo, stop it, bro.
I'm not doing 10.
Bro,
Hey, yo. Go!
Listen. Here's the thing. This ain't what the fuck you want to do. It's what the fuck we want to do.
It's
right?
what I can.
Yo, shut the fuck up, bro. Please. And I'm not saying respect. I'm telling you, shut the fuck up.
You gotta go, bro. You gotta give us a
Stop
fight,
talking. Stop making excuses and do it.
We ain't see you quit yet.
Let's
It
go.
got heavy for you yet.
Let's
You
go.
did every rep that you tried to do.
Let's go, bro.
Quit that bullshit.
Ain't no difference between
Quit
me
that
and you,
fucking
bro.
bullshit.
Go. Get mad. Get mad.
Get mad. That's
Get
what
mad and figure it out.
Get mad. Head up and fucking drop. I ain't seen you fail yet.
I'll
I
take
ain't
you.
seen you fail yet. No, fuck you, Uncle. You got another one.
Come on. Go.
Another one.
You ain't no generous.
Go!
Let's go.
Pick the fucking weight up. Fuck is you waiting for?
Come on.
Yeah! Fail yet. Yeah, stay in there.
All right, so you see the video. You basically got, I say 4 Jakes. I believe all of them are Israelites. You got this one right here, the light-skinned Jake with the curly hair. He looked like he probably a Northern Kingdom Jake. I guess what they're doing is weight training, and you heard when he dropped the weight. The bigger Jake with the red shirt said, "Stop stopping." Like, why are you stopping? Why are you continuing to stop? And if you hear the other Jake talking, he said, "Yeah, why do you keep stopping? You did every rep you tried to do. You ain't failed yet. So keep going." And that what it inspired me to do with this video, it's we're still here. We're in this truth. We're in the faith. We are doing the work. Why stop now? Why do we why stop now? Why get lax now? Why get relaxed now? Why kind of ease up now, right? When we're close to the end, and I'm really speaking to myself mainly, we should be going harder. We should be seeking the Lord 10 times more, as the scriptures say. We should be doing as much as we possibly can, right? Because, we can definitely do more than what we think we can do. And see this Jake, the guy right here that everybody getting on, you know, he thought that just because he's a little fatigued that he can't do anymore because his legs hurting, his arms hurting, or, you know, whatever part of his body is in pain and feeling fatigued right now. He thought that he's thinking that he can't go anymore, right? When yet the other Jakes are looking at him from a different perspective. You know, they said, you haven't failed yet. You did every rep that you tried to do. Meaning you still got more in you. You can still go further. You can still keep pushing. And that's the mentality that we should have in this truth. We can continue to keep pushing, you know, with the videos, you know, continue to consistently go to camp. Continue with the reading, continue in prayer, you know. Yeah, we all gotta battle demons. We all got things we have to, you know, we're up against that we have to fight against. You know, we all have things that, you know, are on our back and are fighting against us. And that's a part of this truth. But we can still continue to keep going. You know what I'm saying? You know, as many video lessons as you can a week, and me, myself as well, because I know I can do more. You know, but sometimes I get lazy or, you know, just because I feel a little fatigued, I might not feel the best. Like, you know, right now, it's 8:40 in the morning, but I feel tired. You know, I want to take a little nap. I want to get some rest. You know, I'm in a situation right now. I got to get something fixed on my truck, so I'm waiting. And I could have sat in the back, took me a little nap and waited for them to get done. But you know what? Let me go ahead and knock this video lesson out, because this is what's more important. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing, the same mentality that these guys have with lifting weights is the same mentality that we should have when it comes to this truth and doing this work. So here, let me go to Romans chapter 5, starting at verse 1. It says, therefore, being justified by faith, we have peace with Yahweh through our Lord Yahweh Shai, by whom also we have access by faith into this grace wherein we stand, and rejoice in hope of the glory of Yahweh. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience, and patience experience, and experience hope. And hope maketh not ashamed, because the love of Yahweh is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Spirit, which is given unto us, right? So we go through things, we go through tribulations, we go through trials, but it does what? It works patience. It builds our patience. Through patience, we gain what? Experience. And through our experiences, we get hope, right? For example, when I came into the truth, you know, I didn't have a job. You know, I couldn't afford my rent. Didn't have a car. You know, I was, as they say, I was down bad when I came into the truth. And there was a lot of times where I was just like, man, I wish I wasn't going through this. Man, I wish that, you know, something would happen. And I would be praying to the Lord. I would be praying to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, that I get out of this situation. But it didn't happen then and there. It didn't happen right then, because I had to be what? I had to be built up. I had to go through an experience that is going to build my patience, build my faith, and give me understanding that, you know, we got to endure certain things. Sometimes we gotta, you know, endure tribulations. We got to endure hardness. Yep, let me go get that. 2 Timothy chapter 2, and I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Yahweh Shai. And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua. Says, no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier, right? So we got to endure hardness. We got to endure tribulations, things that aren't ideal, things that, you know what I'm saying, are not comfortable for us. You know, when I came into the truth, as I stated earlier, you know, I didn't have particular luxuries that I enjoyed before I came into the truth. I had income. I had a job. You know, I had a car to get around. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord took those things away from me. You know, one in particular through a car accident. That's how I lost my transportation and my income, because, you know, I was doing Uber and that was my main income at that time. But, I had to endure that. Even after that, you know, the Lord, I had a car, and I got into a situation with a woman, and she crashed my shit. So I didn't have a car again. I had to do the Uber rentals, and doing the Uber rentals, right? You know, trying to get my CDL, had to pay out of pocket, and I'm struggling to pay my bills, struggling to pay for my CDL every month, struggling to pay for this car every week. You know what I'm saying? I had to go through endure those things. You know, enduring these things now. I don't have a car again now, because all I've been doing is renting, you know. Now I'm trying to endure and save up, if it be in the Lord's will, save up for a car. But, you know, these are just things that we got to go through. And every brother has their own journey, their own walk, their own trials that they have to go through. You know, I'm just using some of mine as an example for this video. But every brother has their own walk that they have to go through. You know what I'm saying? We all have our things where we got to go through. So again, that, you know, is also not wise to look at a brother and say, oh, well, you know, you going through this and, you know, you seem like you got it good. You don't know. You don't always know what that brother had to go through to get to where he is. You don't know the kind of suffering that, you know, as men, what we go through to get in certain places that we are. Because it may look good. It may look like we're in a good position now, but the suffering that you had to go through to get to that position, or before you got to that position, you know what I'm saying? That's why you have what you have now. That, you know what I'm saying? Because the Lord rewards you. The Lord rewards us for suffering, for our sufferings. You know what I'm saying? Because even out of those times where I had to go through certain things, you know, I came out with what? I got a job that I enjoy for the most part. You know, I like to do. It's income. You know, it's not necessarily the best income, but, you know, I'm able to sustain myself. I'm able to, you know what I'm saying, pay my bills and everything like that without necessarily struggling, right? But I had to struggle at times before I got here, you know? But the point is that there's more that we can do. You know, the trials that we go through right now, you know, the Lord knows what we're able to handle and what we're able to work through. You just have to find it within yourself through the Spirit to get through those things. That's why prayer is important. Fasting is important. You know, even consulting with certain brothers is very important, because certain brothers may have been through what you're going through. You know, that's why we have the body. That's why we have the brotherhood, you know, to lift each other up, to advise each other when we go through certain things that we may not have been through. You know, you may be going through something that later on down the line, a younger brother may be going through, and you can instruct him and advise him on how to get through and handle a certain situation. You know, all of these things, the Lord has it handled, right? But it's all really to build us up, and to prove us, you know, to prove us as well, right? It's the book of Psalms, chapter 34 and verse 19. It says, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all, right? So, yeah, righteous men, we go through many different afflictions. We go through trials, tribulations, tests. We go through these things, but through faith, the Lord is going to deliver us, the Lord delivers us out of the tribulations and trials that we go through, right? That's why it's good to remain faithful. That's why it's good to, you know, stay, Salakia. Salakia, they ain't working on my truck right now. But, yeah, that's why it's good to, you know, remain faithful when you're going through trials and tribulations. Salakia, let me go here. So this is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 1 through 5. It says, wherefore, when we could no longer forbear, we thought it good to be left at Athens alone, and sent Timotheus, our brother, minister of Yahweh and fellow laborer, Salakia, in the gospel of Yahweh Shah, to establish you and to comfort you concerning your faith, that no man should be moved by these afflictions, for yourselves know that we are appointed thereunto. It says, for verily, when we were with you, we told you before that we should suffer tribulation, even as it came to pass, and ye know. For this cause, when I could no longer forbear, I sent to know your faith, lest by some means attempt to have tempted you, and our labor be in vain. Right? So this truth, this walk is labor. You know, it's work, and not all work is easy. You know, you have to Salakia, you have to go through and understand things, that everything is not going to be easy, and it's not going to come when you want it to come. But it's always going to come on the Lord's time. It's going to come when Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah sees fit. You know what I mean? So yeah, like, always remember, you know, whatever we are enduring, whatever we're going through, we can always do more, and we can always endure more. So pray for endurance, pray for strength, pray for more faith, right? And, you know, we just got to keep going. So with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Lord willing, this video lesson was edifying. And until next time, Shalom.